Sven is the bastard son of a Vigil Knight born of a Pallid Meranth raised in the Shadeshore Ruins. With his father executed for violating the Vigil Codex and his mother shunned by her wild race, Sven believes that honor is to be found in no social order, but only in himself. After tending his mother through a lingering death, he offered himself as a novice to the Vigil Knights, never revealing his identity. For 13 years he studied in his father's school, mastering the rigid code that declared his existence an abomination. Then, on the day that should have been his inswearing, he seized the Outcast Blade, shattered the Sacred Helm, and burned the Codex in the Vigil's holy flame. He strode from Vigil Keep, forever solitary, following his private code to the last strict rune. Still a knight, yes, but a rogue knight. He answers only to himself. Sven is from Shadeshore, more specifically the Shadeshore Ruins. The inland part of Shadeshore is inhabited by drylanders, and the waters and beaches by Meranths. Check the top right corner for my video about the underwater people of the Dota world. Sven's mother has been described as a Pallid Meranth, and that is likely because she was very ill. Pallid means pale. Sven's father was a Vigil Knight, a faction of knights following a very strict code. When Sven's father broke the code, presumably by having a bastard child by a mer, which the Vigil Knights considered an abomination, he was executed. Later, Sven's mother died of an illness, making Sven an orphan. Sven hid his identity and joined the Vigil Knights, where he studied for 13 years. But on the inswearing ceremony day, he got his revenge for his father by burning down the Vigil Codex. The Vigil Keep is the base of the Vigil Knights, and where they have their artifacts, which includes the Vigil Codex, the Outcast Blade, the Sacred Helm, and the Holy Flame. The Holy Flame is a blue, ever-burning fire kept in the inner colonnade, and it was this Sven used to burn the Vigil Codex. It is protected by the Flame Guard, a sect among the Vigil Knights who are exceptionally skilled swordsmen who reside in the inner colonnade. The Vigil Codex is a set of rules the Vigil Knights have to follow. Sven has made his own codex, but he is silver inspired by the ones from his former faction. Other sects within the Vigil Knights is the monomelites, who hunt down those who don't follow the Vigil Codex, like for example Sven's father. They wear helms that covers their wearer's eyes, and instead use a type of gemstone called cat's eye gemstones to give the wearer enhanced vision. Then there's also the sect the Chisel Guard, an ancient and forgotten faction we know very little about. When Sven almost destroyed the Vigil Knights, he shattered the Sacred Helm I mentioned and took the Outcast Blade for himself. He also took an iron gauntlet, which he used to cast his spell Storm Hammer. He didn't completely destroy the Vigil Knights though, so to this day they still try to hunt him down and reclaim the enormous Outcast Blade he took. It's very powerful and can cut through many units at the same time. Sven owns many other blades too, among them the Sword of the Warrior's Retribution. It used to belong to his father, but was passed down to him after his father's execution. He also has the sword the Vigil Triumph from one of the Vigil ships. Just like Kunkka, the Vigil Knights of Clad also fares the seas. Lastly, of the swords worth mentioning, there's the Abjudicator's Blade, which Sven used to cleave the hero Juggernaut's helm in half. This awakened Juggernaut's ancestors trapped in his mask in the form of true dragons. Juggernaut is grateful for this because it made him more powerful than ever. Other notable relationships are with, for example, Crystal Maiden. She shows affection for the knight.
That's a lovely shade of blue, Sven. Sven, are you still so blue under that armor? Has anyone seen Sven around?
And Sven himself regrets killing her.
I would not kill a maiden, but you force the issue.
He is also maybe Dragonites and Juggernaut's rival.
Sven, you have much to learn about fighting dragons. I am the better knight, Sven.
It's not the size of the sword, Sven. It's how you use it.
Sven is pretty sassy when killing specific enemies.
I've cast you into hell, Chen. Doubt it not. Curse you and the horse you rode in on. Did you think your wings would save you? That gives me such a headache. Go sprite yourself. Not for you. I have no regard for a knight who follows blindly. If I had a face like yours, I too would wear a mask.
He respects other knights though.
Well met, fellow knight. What kind of knight are you?
Sven was an orphan from presumably a very young age. This has affected him, as he says this when selecting.
Bitter the orphan's journey, and lonely the orphan's grave.
But he also notes it has shaped him, and maybe even pushed him to becoming the hero he is today.
From a lowly birth in the Shadeshore Ruins, who could ever guess I would fight among heroes?
In Artifact and Underlords, Sven is still in the Vigil Knights and haven't got his revenge yet.
I am not yet strong enough to avenge my father's execution, but in time, I will be. I've given myself to the Vigil Knights. I will train with them, learn their ways, become the best, and ultimately destroy them from within.
So unfortunately, that's it for Sven the Rogue Knight. There wasn't much else to him, so he's pretty straightforward, just a lone warrior. So until next time, peace.